Hey guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and I am here as always on a Thursday to visit with you and to make a card together. We may even make two today. I have grabbed out two new products, one from our brand new mini January to July catalogue and one from our celebration catalogue. The first stamp set is the brushed, let me try that again, the brushed blooms stamp set. So I have used this a bit, cards to come. I did show a quick sneak peek of the cards in my catalogue tour that I shared recently, and I also have the celebration set, which is a double stamp set. Hey Margine, hey Cindy. I have the Touch of Ink stamp set. I have also grabbed out my blending brushes and our basic pattern decorative stencils. So I've grabbed out two designs that I think that'll work, and their third pattern is the polka dots, but I just don't think this will work. Hey Colleen, thanks for joining. So that's what I am working with today. I do not have a sore throat. I apparently need to have a drink. I was fine before I came on. Hello, Philomena. Long time no see. Thanks for joining. So using those products, I have chosen a colour palette. This is the Hydrangea Haven colour palette here. So I've got Rococo Rose, Highland Heather, Seaside Spray, Misty Moonlight and Old Olive. So I forgot to ask you guys for a colour palette, so I thought, oh, I'll go to the mini catalogue and grab out a colour palette that's already there that I knew would work with what I've got out. So that's what I have grabbed. Please say hi if you are here live or even on the replay. I love seeing who is dropping in to watch. If you haven't already, I would love you to like and subscribe, just so you don't miss any more videos, because I'm on here at least twice a week. Twice a week is my minimum. You may get a bonus out of me depending on how things are going. I am back to work next week, so it definitely will only be two, because I also have a crazy week next week besides starting back at work. It really is a pretty colour combo, Margine. So what I'm going to do is flick you guys around and get started. Hey Janelle, thanks for joining. So if anyone has any questions about the products that we're using straight up, please don't hesitate to ask. Also, I'll ask questions while we're card making, and I'll have my screen off to the side, so you can participate from there. Hello Jessica, hello Miss Jamie. Am I catching you on your lunch break, Miss Jamie? I hear you're home alone, Miss Jamie. You're the queen of the house. Hello, Miss Barbara. Okay. And there we go. Let's just try and get this straight. And that would be helpful. I think that's pretty good. Ooh, lunch break. Well, happy to entertain you while you're on lunch, Miss J, because I know you're very easily entertained. I'll just go turn off my light and I will come back and we will get started. So have you guys already put in orders from the new catalogue so you can earn celebration items like this? Have I put in an order this year? I have not put in an order yet this year. Like, really, who am I for not putting in an order this year? it wasn't a resolution, but maybe it should have been if I haven't got it going already. Sorry, just getting my second screen up. I did I did a couple of pre-orders actually. So yes. Oh, nice. Yes. When are they back? Are they back later in the week? Yes, I do. I've stored our brushes. Unfortunately, these boxes aren't available anymore, but I have a number of them, so that's what I am storing them in. So I've got out a touch of ink in case I need it for like greenery or something like that, greenery or a butterfly. I'm not sure that I will use it, but I definitely want to use brush blooms. But what I want to start with today is using the basic pattern masks and the blender brushes. So I saw Kathy Zilski did some now she's a non-Stampin' Up person, she's just a YouTube person that I watch, and she did some brushing or some blender brushing with other brushes, but I'm sorry, I will only buy Stampin' Up ones. And I loved what she did. Not only did she do something cool with, yeah, I'll explain. So when she was blending, she was getting like this two-tone effect, and I want to see if that works with all stencils, because I thought it was a really cool effect. So I'm just cutting these into a card front size, so slightly smaller than a card base. Okay, so sorry I didn't have any pre-prepared earlier, and I think out of these two, I grabbed out these two patterns, and I think this is the one that appeals to me a bit more with the brush blooms. So I think that's where I'm going to start. Ah, fair enough. Yes, you ordered some for yourself. So I don't know how, I'm just going to do this the way I've always done it. So you could hold your stencil over, but stencils like to move around. So what I like to do with my stencils is to tape them to the back of the stencil. Now I've just got painter's tape here that me and my eldest share, and at the moment I'm using it more, but that's okay. Let me just get this end moving. Okay, so literally, sorry, using my mouth there. So this is so the paper doesn't move, and because this is a straight stencil, so I literally tape it to the back of the stencil. So then it doesn't move on me. So then I can move this piece any angle I want, and the paper's there. I'm just going to grab some scratch paper here. Just let me, oh, I've got another piece of scratch paper. So I'm just going to grab some scratch paper. Then if I go off the edges, it doesn't matter. So I'm ready and prepped to blend. Just need to work out which color. So what I'm thinking, flower, or the purple and the pink flowers, and Misty Moonlight as sentiment. Obviously the old olive as the leaf, which will leave the Seaside Spray as the background. And it is a mid blue, and it's quite a No, it's a bit of a dirty blue. I don't know. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Donna. Not quite sure how else to explain this blue. It's not a bright blue. Now, this is blue. I am just keeping one colour for each of these. So this is my neutrals and browns, my pink, my yellow, and my blue. Now, you may say, hey, Ellen, that's loaded with colour, but I'll show you on the back of this that has absolutely no colour at all. It's just the bristles, because these are all bristles here. They do just get stained, and I like that they're white because you always know which colour brush that you're using, and they're quite flexible, so you can get more pressure holding it up here, and you get less pressure holding it at the back of the handle, but obviously you can get more pressure and more control at this end. So just to load it up, I like to load it up on the edges because that's where I find my ink pads are inkiest. So I know it's good ink management. So you can see I've got a bit of ink there. I will, because I haven't blended with this colour in a long time, just try it out on my scrap piece of paper. Okay, so you don't actually need to preload these or anything, but I do just tap off a bit of excess, and then I go onto the paper. And see how that stencil moved? It went back to exactly the right place because I've got it taped down. And then because I haven't fully taped it, I can go in and see how dark I'm actually going, which is great. And then just pop that back down. So I'm liking that I'm sort of going in a faded out pattern. I think I might do that from both edges. So like faded out to white in the middle. So I'll show you what I mean. See how it fades out to white? I did have a bit of a boo-boo there, but that's fine. And then on the other edge, and I just tap that immediate excess off. Start in the corner, and you can just start building it up. I can actually see the color difference between both edges. I'm so glad you can't see my whole arm flapping here. I do have a fair bit of excess skin, and it's these tuck shop lady arms. I don't know if everyone calls them tuck shop lady arms or if that's really just an Aussie thing. Okay, so and they meet in the middle quite nicely, so I'm really happy with that. I am going to take that off. I didn't want it all done, but I do like that it fades off but kind of meets in the middle. So what I can do, I can flip this over and I'll just pop the stencil off to the side for a bit, and you can just make sure that it is cleaned off on the back. I'm not getting any colour. The Seaside spray has stained a little bit. Oh, well, I wasn't going off the edges, so I didn't need to put it on a silicone mat, Jamie. I would have used a silicone mat if I was just blending straight onto the paper and not using a stencil, but for using a stencil, I never feel I need a silicone mat. Okay, I am now going to clean off the stencil, and I just want to also just tidy up my ink pad while I'm here because you do tend to kind of go off the edges with the brush. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this here and literally give it a nice wipe down. So you can do this with our stamp chamois, but because I knew I had lots of ink, oh, apparently I'm getting other colours of ink. Oh no, it might be straight off the paper here. I'm getting that yellow, but that is now all cleaned off. It'll take a minute to dry and I can pop that away. I'll just leave that baby wipe out, put my scratch paper to the side. These can be washed because they're so dense, they'll take a while to dry, but as you just saw, this is stained but ink free. Oh yes, Jamie, too late. It was a quick process today. Quick process. So I'll pop this away. I do find them better if they're laid head to tail in here. Pop that there. I will just take off this painter's tape, so it's best if you pull it back on itself, and I can reuse these pieces quite a bit. I just pop them on the cabinet above me, so then I can reuse them multiple times. It's just pulling a bit, but not too much that it's an issue. It's just pulling the cut edge because I need to change the blade in my trimmer. Okay, so we have this blush blooms. Blushed blooms. I'm also going to grab, I'll see if I can grab the dies that coordinate with it, because yes, I do have dies for both these flowers, so I'm just going to stamp them simply and die cut them out using the mini machine. And somehow I just don't think I will use these leaves. Oh, although those leaves do have a die cut. Ooh, I don't know. Let's see. And then I can leave the other piece for this. I could, and I have done that, Jamie, and it did kind of cause the bristles to separate a little on the pink one, but I don't need to. The staining doesn't affect its use. The staining is just stained, and it helps me know which pad I'm using for which brush I'm using for each color. So I actually kind of prefer the staining, if that makes sense. I don't have any scrap Whisper White big enough, but I'm going to show you something cool with these. So what I'm going to do, I am going to grab in my scrap piece paper, because these are brand new stamps. So I just want to check and see how they stamp. That's not too shabby. Oh, that's terrible. Didn't ink it up properly. I should be able to fix it, and I can at least have it as a spare layering piece. That's better. So pop that off to the side. And of course I just got ink everywhere because I dropped it ink side down. That's why we have a baby wipe, and I'm thinking I might use the blending brushes just to softly colour the background of these flowers as well. And I will also do the leaves while I'm here. I'll show you the stamp set. Pop that at least to the side. Okay, that's beautiful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, And then I will grab the leaves. We will, and oh, yes, blending the leaves out with the blending brushes and then die cutting them will be amazing. And I will, and we've already nearly used 4 of the 5 colors that we're going to. Yeah, I don't think it'll affect the use, and I think I'm about to use that color, so we'll find out, Jamie, but it just made it look wrong for me. Does that make sense? Like, it hasn't affected the use, but we'll double check in a sec. Oh. Helps if it's inked up properly, hey guys. Okay, that's good, and we will ink that there. Leave it for a few seconds. That's pretty good. If it's not perfect, that's okay, because I'm going to come back in with the blending brushes. Oh, I never checked my background. No, the way Kathy used it, she had like an edge that was darker than everything else. So I haven't got the same effect that she did. Yeah, yeah. Hello, Wurge. Oh, that's beautiful, Wurge. Wurge, I just have Mel here. She dropped in for a quick cuppa. She was driving by. So I need a green brush because I don't have a green brush. So I'm thinking purple and blues go together, a pink brush and a green brush. And then I don't know what other colour family, or a red brush, I think. I still have a spare brush. This is 2 packs of brushes. The blending brushes do come in packs of 3. So I have 2 packs here. Okay, so I'm definitely, because this is such a new sheet of paper, I'm protecting it by all means. So I'm coming back over here with our scratch piece and our old olive, and I want to do some practicing. So I've got that. Okay, that blends out quite softly and nicely. I like that. Okay, so I kind of want to start soft, go down in the shape of the leaf, come up a bit, so just so it's not just stamped, you've got the rest of the colour as well. So I could grab the die out, but I'm already pretty happy with that. Just want a titch darker there. That's all new. That's not perfect, but it's going to be die cut and no one will tell the difference. So that's stained but clean again, and I am happy with that. So I just don't want the backgrounds white, but stamping on white, I just get a better stamped image. So I'm going to be like really soft with the purple one. So I'm going to take off quite a bit of ink, because we can always add more ink, can't we? Yes, we can. Oh, that was a lot of ink. That felt like a lot of ink. Okay, so see how we just have that softness there? So when we cut it out, it's not going to be white and Highland Heather. It's just going to be Highland Heather. Pretty sure, and I can always test the back where we're going die cut, because no one will tell. Putting a fair bit of pressure, and it's just getting out the slightest tinge, but that's pretty clean. And what I could do as well is just go onto the baby wipe. You can see you just get a titch of separation, but you can go like that, and then I can grab my microfiber cloth and just dry it off. But you can see you get a little bit of separation, but it's nothing to that. But now that will be perfect. Oh no, it's not actually. It's because it's still damp. Yeah. Purple's a funny colour. I will deal with it. Yes, I know. The soft brushes. Give another one. Oh no. Oh yes, me too. Me too, Word. Me too. Okay, Rococo Rose. Ah, you can always put your embellishments in a basket, Word. Where's my pink one? This is my pink one. I'm going to go really soft again. Now we're going this one. So I've probably gone too soft, so you can barely see that. I'm sort of going from the inside out, so I want it darker on the inside. I kind of want a touch more just here. There we go. So go, 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 go. Very happy with that. Get out any excess on that one. And there is no excess there. So this is the one that I had washed or done exactly what I just did this with. So, and then I just dry it. I don't know if it picked up any purple from here, but you can just let it air dry. Give it a nice back and forth. Yeah, I can see that's taken a bit more purple and it's taken off quite a lot of the blue if that's how you wish to do it. And then give it a dry off and it will finish. That feels dry to the touch already, just slightly damp, but you can see if the colours are going to go right down into the bristles, but I can still see that that will be my purple and pink one. So that's those done. So let's get our mini machine out, mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and do some cutting, because the other set doesn't have any dies. So anything I do with the other set, yes, exactly. Where I like that I can see, because I've got nothing here, I can see the brushes side on, and I'll show you what I've done. I'm not using them today, but I've shown you guys how I store my ink refills. On the side, I've just popped some paper and stamped with the it's all retired, what color family it is. But because this is isn't something that's usable, I'm happy to cover it up. And because the stamp sets have their images on, where did I put that die set, guys? That die set's literally just gone kapoof and it has disappeared. Oh, because it's under stuff over here. Not helpful. I do it all the time, Wedge. I'm so used to it because otherwise I get ink all over my hand. And I'm not getting ink over my hands that have just had my nails freshly done. So that ain't happening on my watch here. Okay, so you guys have already seen me use the brush strokes dies. I can, if I can quickly get my hand on one of the cards. So that's one of the cards I did using the blender brushes or the blending brushes and the dies. Okay, mini machine. Come and play. And I need my plates. Sorry, just seeing. I have no room in my tool carousel, Jamie. But not even all the tools I use in there, but I think I just like keeping them together like that. I don't know why. Yes, they are. They are. Okay, sorry, just scrolling back up. Indigo and violet. Oh, hold my nails out. Sorry. I missed that. Hold my nails out. Hopefully you can see them. They are pretty. I went in wanting the glitter, and I had seen some people get the big chunky sequiny glitter stuff, and we put them together. Okay, right. I've caught up with comments. Thank you. Okay, I don't need these. I need that. Where's my other cutting plate? How am I missing a whole cutting plate, girls? Maybe we're not die cutting with the mini machine. Where did I put it? I'm seriously missing the cutting plate. Seriously? It's missing. We're going to use my big mama. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Debbie. I don't know how I'm missing a cutting plate. Okay, Mr. Big Machine. I have to check my bin before I empty it. I haven't put it anywhere because I had them all in my hand. Oh my god, this is huge when you've just had the little one in your hands. Oh, stamped piece. Absolutely huge. Oh my god, I may be able to cut these all at the same time. I may have left enough room in between them all to do that. How cool is that? One pass. That is the advantage of the big machine. I don't know that I would. I just caught that die between the pole on my desk and my leg. Okay, so you can see, right? Don't touch anything. Put the plate in, sandwich it down, and go through. Just like butter, just like that. We have 3 die cut images. They're not perfect, but they're done. And I will grab that one out. Ah, nice. Yes. So do I, Margine. So do I. I'll finish here and I'll check around and see where it might be. because I gather all my plates together and they go in one place, so it's not as if they live in a different place. So you can see here we did get the gradient effect, which is great. Pop these dies away because not a good idea to leave them hanging around. That's a titch dangerous. I'm trying to think when I last used it, Margine, but I shall not let that get in the way of a good video. So how many of you had noticed the Brushed Blooms bundle in the catalogue? So it is on page 29 of the January to June catalogue, mini catalogue. So I would love to know how many of you actually noticed it, because it's kind of a bit of a sleeper one, because I think people will get a bit confused. Oh, that's not going anywhere. Between having the brushstroke things and the florals. But that's okay. Okay, I think I need this out. I need to start doing some building just to see where we're kind of going with this. So I'm thinking the Rococo Rose over. That's upside down. That's better. The Rococo Rose will sit over this one just to blend it down a titch. And then we can pop this piece in here. Could have had a couple of greenery pieces, but you know, groups of 3 work really well. And then I do like myself a very simple happy birthday that I can do in the misty moonlight, and then it lets that background sing. Because I could also stamp the happy birthday on the paint swoosh, but I just don't think the paint swoosh suits the elegance of the card, but the classic label, or the label, that would fit perfectly. So then the background sings all by itself. Now what I could do is stamp this on here and blend the background a little bit. So I could do that. It's got a bit of, let's see how we go. No, I need to do it on an edge because I need to punch it out. Is it under the stamp sets? No, because I hadn't moved the stamp sets, but thank you for the suggestion. You did, but it's not your cup of tea. Fair enough. Fair enough. See, I haven't yet, but I'm looking forward to die cutting that whole. Sorry, I'm just going to stamp this off on my scrap piece to the side. And hold it very gently. That's not... do you know what? And do it again down here. Just in case. Just for an insurance policy. See which one I like better. I like this one better. Felt better. Now, Word, you were worried. There is a little divot in... Oh, how did I get a whole ink on the back of this? There is a little divot when I use the scissors on to push back. So I'm not pushing it back. The end is actually secure in there. It's not actually moving up and down. So yeah, don't be too worried. There is a little divot, I'm assuming, left over from the making of the cases process. Yeah, don't know how that ink got there, but anyway, it did. And I may grab my blue again, but I want to use my Seaside spray. Now that is totally dry now. I just checked that on my chin. No, not at all, Wirch, not at all. Hello, Miss Susan. Yes, please feel free to go back on the replay. Now, Jamie, the other reason I just haven't used my silica matte is because this paper is so smooth. I kind of feel like I don't need it. Just trying to lightly give a real nice blue hue to the back of it. This is really light so far. I am purposely going lighter than going, and I'm holding it like this, but I'm not applying any extra pressure as such. But this just glides on our Whisper White paper. It's just amazing. And our new replacement for the Whisper White is on its way. It should not be too far away in the whole scheme of things. So we shouldn't be without our Whisper White paper for very long at all. Okay, so I want to close this ink pad because we don't want to, I've already done it, mess up my brand new mat. I've already got ink on it, but hey, it's a working mat. Okay, and my classic label punch. Pinch that out so you can see now that that will just not blend into the white, but it's not as dark as stamping on the Seaside spray paper. So you can see what that'll look like there, and I can still use plenty of this paper. So what I will go in and do is just snip off these. That is fine, and that will go in my scraps. This can go in my recycling, and I think I'm pretty happy with this design. I will do the A Touch of Ink card off screen and share that, but I will use this, yeah. I just don't want to go too long today because it's school holidays and I want to spend some time with the children. So, are we happy with what I've done so far? Tell me your thoughts on the blending brushes as well. Helps if I can get these out of here. Helpful. Oh, I need the mini ones as well for the sentiment. Okay, I just need to choose a card base. Now, I am thinking of doing something. I'm thinking of adding just a touch of overall colour to the corners. So like doing this kind of colour just at the very edges. What do you think? Should I do a bit more ink blending just on the edges, just to make those edges less white? Tell me what you think while I do all of this attaching of dimensionals. I think everything else will happily be flat. Ah, you're converted. Of course I'm an enabler. The label punch is perfect for so many sentiments. Is it called the classic label works? Did I get the name right? I was pretty sure I did, but I wasn't 100% sure. That was just off the top of my head. Okay. I haven't put these on as I normally would, so I'm going to pop on an extra. Yes, classic label punch. Thank you so much, Word. You're amazing. Okay, so got that. So no one spoke to me about blending, so that would add a really nice softness to the corners. So rather than rushing making a second card, I'll get this card exactly like I would like it. So just going in and it's just adding the softness of colour to the edge. Now I could use the silicone matte for this part, but it's not quite at hand. I don't even know where it is at this point. So you can see how I've just added a slight amount of colour to this corner compared to this corner. It adds, it's just a small detail on a fairly simple card. And it also helps cover up my whoops from earlier. So I will put a bit more gradient of colour on this part because it's a larger part, but not all the way, just part of the way. And that's all I'm doing. And I've just got to find the correct colour for the background. Just got a bit of excess blue there. Okay, so this card looks nothing like the Hydrangea Haven paper that this was inspired by. Okay, yeah, I can go over there. Right, I do just want to though stamp this off a few times, just so I don't get ink everywhere. Ah, you love the added colour. Good, Debbie. I like it too. It's just enough of a hint that it brings it together. So I'm thinking maybe Misty Moonlight card base. Oh, that actually pops really nicely off that. Is that actually a card base? It is actually a card base. Just proves I really do need to change my trimmer blade. I really like how that pops. Yep, definitely. Commit and stick. My little dots are enough for wiggle room, and then I'm guaranteed there's glue all over the background. Okay, I want the larger at the bottom, so the larger inked section at bottom. Okay. So So I hold it while making sure all those dots are squished down to get nice adhesion. Okay, so now I've just got to choose where I just going to put one large dot here. I'm just kind of going for it, and then I can use this one as a guide of where, yeah, that one, yeah, that's gives me some wiggle room. Yep, I like that there. So sometimes I do that if I'm not sure where something's going to go. I put on a larger dot of adhesive, so then I've got more room to wiggle it around like I did just then. I moved it a couple of times. Okay, now I'm not quite going to adhere this, just going to sort of play and have this like partially tucked under, and that is actually adhered to one of the glue dots. So I just like that, and it's actually worked well that this leaf is darker than the other leaves because you've got that shadow. And then if you were my sentiment, I can just tuck you in there, and that's the card done. Or do I tuck it over? Oh, I like it tucked under. You could always snip off one of the ends to tuck it under, depending on where your embellishment cluster is. But just simple florals, blended backgrounds. We've used the blending brushes on all aspects except for the card base. So this is a pretty feminine card, but not overly... Sorry, I'm just trying to... perfect. That's where I want it. Now it's just a matter of getting it straight. The fine... Oh, I don't think that's straight. There is one way to find out. That is so not straight, my word. Now, helps if it's not stuck. That is so not straight. I'm lucky my friend Mel still isn't here, otherwise she'd be screaming at me. So I just use my T-square ruler. Close enough is good enough right there. Blind man going by would not notice. Okay, right. We need something. And I'm thinking we need the opal rounds. Let's see if I can put my hand on them. We had them the other day, girls. Only the other day. Right, they're the Elegance opal rounds. I have them, opal rounds. Just a few of these and I think we're done. Oh, I have knocked you guys. Sorry about that. So we have small and large opal rounds, and I'm just going to add a few. I don't think it needs much, or do I just add, because we're going with the blue, the Misty Moonlight, and then I add Wink to the petals. I just just thinking they're thinking these ones will look more classy with a bit of wink. Change of mind, change of heart. Sorry, Jamie. I think these will look really, really classy. But these only, well, I don't say but, these only come in one size. But that's okay. We can make it work. So just put a couple here. And come on. Thank you. I need another one. Odd numbers always work well. Okay, so that's kind of balances it out and just runs your eye along there. So I love these in color enamel dots. Just be careful if you do use scissors to pick them up, because the color and the dome are two separate pieces adhered together, and if you get it in the right spot you can split them. So I'd hate for you to split your dots. Okay, Wink Stella. Just the teeniest of bits. Just a couple of little hints and highlights. I'm not covering the whole lot, just a few hints. Just so you've got that sheen in certain lights. So I'll see if I can show you that sheen. So I'm hoping you can see that. But that is the card that we've created. I will take away that ink pad because we never used it. We've used Brush Blooms. And Brush Blooms is on page 29 in the January to June catalogue. We have also we've used the whole bundle because we have used the matching dies. So there's the card, and we have used our blending brushes. So I'll just pop a couple out there. We've used our blending brushes, and what else did we use? We used our in color enamel dots. And we used our ink colours. So I will grab them back together. So I got the inspiration for our ink colours from the Hydrangea Haven bundle. The other thing I did use was our basic pattern stencils. So I'll just pop that there. So thank you so much for joining me. It wasn't quite the card. Oh my dear word, what is going on with my camera? It is not quite the card I had in mind. Thank you, Susan. But I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. Really happy with how it turned out. So just something really classic and classy, and I really like how those 5 colours came together to be so harmonious on the card, and how the stencil, I used it in that faded way, so it's not in your face, it's just an added element to the card. Thank you girls so much, and thank you for joining me as always. I always appreciate it, and I hope to be back next Tuesday. All being well, I'll be back on Tuesday, unless I make a surprise pop-in before now and then. Yes, the stencil set is great. I do love a good stencil because you can use them in so many ways. Yes, go check. You never want to have two, or you can have two and give it away to a friend, Wurge. Always, always away. So thank you, girls. Any questions, please ask. I have my shop link and this month's hostess code in the description, so please use those if you're ordering, or contact me. Yes, I shall have a good weekend. Thanks for that, guys. Bye.